If you want to build a server that is stable, secure, and free, Debian is a golden standard. It is a foundation that Ubuntu is built on. Today, I'm going to walk you through installing Debian Server step by step. But we are not just going to install it and walk away. A fresh installation is not a finished server. By the end of this video, we will have configured automatic system updates, configure a firewall using UFW, and harden SSH to keep attackers away. So without taking much of your time, let's get into it. First, I will download the ISO of Debian. So I will go to debian.org and select download. While it's downloading, you can get yourself a tool like Etcher, which is used to flash the ISO file on your USB stick. I'm on Linux, so I will download the app image. And it's downloaded, so I will open it. Here it is, so I will right click on it, Properties, and I will enable Execute as a program. Close this and open it one more time. Here I will select Flash from File. Select your Debian ISO. Here you can select your USB stick. This is the right one for me. And click on Flash. If you are working a lot with ISO files and flashing USB sticks, you can get yourself a tool like Ventoy, which simplifies the process for you. With Ventoy, you can put multiple ISO files on a single USB stick. You just have to drop the ISO file and drop it to your Ventoy. I have a full video on how to install Ventoy, so make sure to give it a shot. And just like I have mentioned before, if you have Ventoy, you can just drag this ISO file and drop it to Ventoy. As you can see, this is my Ventoy USB stick. I have the new Debian here. I have a Debian 15, Fedora 43, Proxmox, Shred OS, and Umbrella OS. Now I will eject the USB stick. Now you are seeing the screen of my server. Here you have to select Install, select your language, and your country. So I will select another, Europe, and Germany. Here you can select your local settings. I will keep this to United States. And your keyboard layout, I will change this to German. Here you can enter the host name of your server. So I will keep this to Debian. Domain name is Libre-Data. .local. 95% of you aren't subscribed. You have 10 seconds. Else I will run this command on your server. And here you can enter the password for your root user. And if you leave this empty, the root user will stay locked, which is better for security. So I will select Continue. And continue one more time. And here I will create a user. My name is Carl Johnson. And the username is CJ. And a password. Now this user will have admin rights because we have locked the root user before. For partitioning method, you have three options. You can select a classic entire disk or entire disk with LVM. So with LVM you can make a lot of partitions and resize them without rebooting. I don't need this one. And with the third option you can encrypt your disk. So with this option you have to enter the encryption password every time you start your server. Without this password your server won't be able to boot. This is important if your server got stolen. But mine won't be stolen, I hope. So I will select entire disk. And I will select my disk. Here you can select how the partition should look like. I like to keep everything separated. The 1 GB swap partition will help your RAM. So I will select this one. And select finish partitioning. Write changes to disk. Here it's asking you if you have any disk with apt files, which will get used for the package manager called apt. So here you can select no. Here you can select your country or the nearest country to you. With this option you will select the Debian archive mirror. So the place where your server will get all the installation files and update files for your system. So I will go with debian.org. I don't have any proxy. And yes, I want to participate in the package user survey. Alright, here you can select which software you want to install with the system. All of these are just display environments. I don't need any one of them. I also don't need any web server. I just need SSH and some system utilities. So I will select Continue. It's asking me if I want to install the bootloader. So I will say yes. And I will select my SSD. It's done. So I will select Continue to reboot. And welcome to Debian. So I will log in here. My username was CJ. And the password. And Debian is installed. But we haven't finished yet. Just like I told you before, we have some security settings to change. So let's do this. First I will install the app that will keep your system up to date. So type the following: sudo apt install unattended upgrade. Enter the password. Yes. And it's installed. So let's see if it is running. First I will clear this. Type sudo systemctl status unattended upgrades. As you can see here, it is active, which means it is running now, and it is enabled, which means it will start with the system always. Now your server will install the security updates automatically. Now let's secure SSH, which is used to connect to your server terminal remotely. So I will type sudo nano etc ssh sshd config. This is a configuration file of SSH. Here you can see you can change the SSH port. Right now it is set to 22. I will change this to anything like 22.3.1. You can set the address family to IPv4 or IPv6. I will leave this to any. Here you can enable logging grace time. So if someone enters the wrong password many times, he will get logged from the system for some minutes. You can also disable SSH for the root user or many things. I will leave you a link in the description with some helpful options to secure your SSH. Now type Ctrl-O to save and Ctrl-X to exit. And now it's time to install and configure the firewall. So type the following: sudo apt install UFW. Yes, UFW stands for Uncomplicated Firewall, which it really is. So let's configure this bad boy. To check the status of your firewall, type the following: sudo UFW status. As you can see, it is inactive now. So let's add some rules and enable it. First I will enable the SSH connection. So I will type sudo UFW allow 22.3.1. SSH will normally use port 22, but just like we have done in the last step, I changed the SSH port to 22.3.1. That's why I will allow this one. I will also allow port 80 because I will install a web server later. Now if I type sudo UFW status, it is still inactive, so I will enable it. Type sudo UFW enable. Alright, now if I check the status one more time, here you can see it is active and these are the ports allowed. And that's it. Now you have a secure and stable Debian server which will also install security updates automatically. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. This is Libre-Data and we are just getting started. See you in the next time.